to the real life interviews of Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard in real life. I'm going to set this up. This is from Dax's podcast. This was, I believe, 2022. And I'm going to set this up before we go into the clip of Kristen and Dax talking about what's happened. So apparently they all would sleep often in the same bedroom, the parental marital bedroom, and the girls would sleep on the floor. Why on the floor? I don't know. These are wealthy celebrities. So if they want the girls to sleep in the same room, why would it not be a California king bed? Or why would they not have little beds for the girls to sleep in? Now, the story begins that they're all in the room trying to go to sleep, and Kristen and one of the girls smell something so odorous and pungent that they think that a dog, God forbid they have dogs, or any other animals, at least children can talk and speak up for themselves by a certain age. But anyway, they think that a dog has relieved itself, him or herself, under the bed, had its dog feces under the bed. And then Dax laughs before he says on this podcast, it's February 22, 2022. He laughs before saying on this podcast, quote, "We conscripted the girls to look under all the furniture because we thought there could be a stray dog turdy." So yeah, why not let your little girls do it instead of you be a man and fucking do it? And why don't you be responsible parents who would know if your dog is defecating in the house, which your dog should be trained out of? Here we go. Listen too, because she quotes one of the small daughters using a very strange adjective to describe the smell. And this word jumped out at me as highly inappropriate, and it will for you too, I am sure. Here we go.
So I lean down and smell the mattress, Dax's corner, his feet corner of the mattress. And I almost hit the deck. I almost passed out. It was so strong. And I said, "Lincoln, get over here. Don't gaslight me. Tell me if this smells." She smells it. She's like, "Ooh, that is raunchy." We lift up the sheets. It's not the sheets. I lift up the mattress cover. It's not the mattress cover. Well, it's saturated, but I lift up the Uller. The Uller smells.
Okay. First of all, the one daughter says this smells raunchy. How does that girl know that word? It's been misused here. Something can't smell raunchy. One can be raunchy, which has a sexual connotation. Number two, I'm not saying, but I'm saying that struck me. They named their daughters Lincoln and Delta. These two are assholes, okay? They're assholes. They gave one of their daughters, it's a guy's name, it's a male name, and Delta, like an airline, like a vast plane, like that is a sexless, ugly name, okay? They hate their kids. My theory. Then, so the Ula is, I'll just explain it to you because Dax gives a super lengthy, verbose explanation. The Uller is like there's this bladder in the mattress, he says, and there are two tubes, and you can fill it with either hot water or cool water if you want to sleep hot or cold. And why these two just don't invest in one of those mattresses that are temperature controlled, I have no idea, but I think they like torturing each other and their kids, okay? And Dax, by the way, says he could not smell this smell even though it was on his side of the bed. And Kristen says, "It nearly took me out," okay? Now, she lays out how she believes this smell came to permeate where they and their small children were sleeping. And Dax Shepard, frankly, sounds hygienically disgusting. And I mean disgusting. Listen.
Every night's the same thing for me. As you know, I bring in 2 blender bottles full of water. Mm-hmm. I consume one of them, and then the other one goes into dump in the Keurig. In my mind, I always have 2 fresh waters in the blender cups.
Right. And I'm sure that in your mind, that's all you have on your nightstand. But you have like a bunch of tokens, a bunch of knickknacks. You have some sunglasses. You have a ton of tissues. You have some workout powder, some pre and post workout powder. You have a protein shake. You have books.
Tissues.
You have
gonna get the
so many tissues.
I have allergies, folks.
So the point is, it
Sounds
was
like a
messy.
gas
He
station.
grabs a bottle of liquid, pours it in there. Turns out it was probably an old protein shake that's been running through the Uller for 2 days.
That is longer.
So disgusting.
It had been 10 days before I had dumped that in there.
I do not think that Dax is a fully sober person. I don't. Because I don't know how you mistake the consistency and absolute absence of smell of water for a 10-day-old protein shake. You guys know how it is. Even if you have an extra part of a protein shake that you've made or whatever that you put in the fridge, like it starts to congeal after like a day, and you have to kind of like re-stir it or put it back on the blender and rework it. I don't think he's sober. I think he's full of shit. I think his armchair expert shtick is bullshit. It gets darker, okay? It gets darker. Kristen Bell went on, another useless idiot who has a podcast, Justin Bell. Justin Bell. Sorry, Justin Long. Justin Long. He has a podcast. She went on it. She talked to Justin Long about an intense fight, an incredible fight. She says that she had with Dax. Again, they have 2 small children in their home. She says it was so intense that they both, and I quote, blacked out. And so she says she has no idea. I don't buy it. I wonder if it got physical. I do. Again, just my supposition. And she ended up sleeping on the couch for days and gave Dax Shepard the silent treatment for 3 days. And I can tell you, as the product of what I describe as, once I hit about age 8, 10, it became a very difficult home. When my parents didn't talk to each other, it was a very scary place to be. When they would go for days without speaking to each other, it was a nightmare. So this is her telling a story. She makes very clear to say, this is my version. This is my version of events. I was talking to Dax about asking him to please, I left a note for him, asking him to please pick up 2 towels that were on the floor and do the laundry. And in her telling, this note infuriated Dax Shepard to the point where Kristen says she became very afraid of him. Here we go.
I left this note, and then I came home on Sunday. Everything was fine. Monday night, we're laying in bed, and he turns over, and I know I can sense him like a puppy can sense when you're about to get angry. I can sense it in him 2 seconds before it happens. And he goes, "When you leave me notes, yeah, I feel really controlled." And he launched into how he felt about it.
Now I wish this were filmed because your face is contorting in such a way. You kind of looked almost like
and his nostrils flare. That's how you know he's mad. And I said to myself immediately, like, don't react, don't react, don't react, don't react. And I said, okay, I totally hear you. It will never happen again. If I need something to be done around the house, what is a way that I could do it that you'd be okay with hearing? What's a better way I could do it? And somehow then we both blacked out and got into a fight. And I don't actually remember what happened, but what transpired was a lot of volume, a lot of harsh words being thrown around. And it was an angry, angry fight, right?
Wow.
About how nobody does anything for anybody else, right? We were getting things out of the
There was stuff that was buried. That
big
was
time.
yeah, okay.
I grabbed my pillow and I stomped down the hall and I sleep in the front room and I'm crying, right?
Ugh.
And we don't talk for 3 days.
This is a very dark house that is parented by 2, in my opinion, very dark, very immature, very selfish people. And that sounds, again, to me, it sounds like that fight may have gotten physical. Now, I'm going to end it with this because I have never forgotten this quote of Kristen Bell's. And when I read this, I thought to myself, if somebody doesn't call CPS after this, I don't know what. I don't know what. They have. I think they have successfully scrubbed. Again, just my opinion. I think she and her team, or her team, has successfully scrubbed the audio and the video of this. I don't think it necessarily came out in a print form of media, but Business Insider picked it up and ran it, and that still exists. And so we picked it back up. And the headline on this piece, Kristen Bell says she relies on a, quote, controversial, end quote, parenting hack to get her 3-year-old daughter to sleep. And I quote, "We switched the doorknob. We turned the lock on the outside of the door." Then Kristen, I'm picking this back up. This is her. Again, I quote, "I'm sorry." She's not sorry. "I'm sorry. I know that's controversial, but we lock it when she gets in there." Again, they lock their 3-year-old's bedroom door from the outside. Continuing, Kristen, "And we stand outside," she and Dax, father of the year, parents of the year, these two. "Assholes. We stand outside and say, quote, 'We love you. We will talk to you in the morning, but now it's time for sleep.' And after about 10 minutes, she'll wind herself down. And then before we go to bed, obviously, we unlock it." I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you guys left that, if you're not still doing it, I think those doors, or that door, was left locked all night long because you didn't want your sleep or your sex interrupted by a small child who might have an emergency and need to go to the bathroom, or might have a scary dream and wake up in tears, freaked out, and want to go snuggle with mommy and daddy. I think you just don't want to be bothered with your own little kids. And so that is a fire hazard. That child could get hurt in that room and you would never, ever know it. That child could be screaming to get out. An intruder could be trying to get in. There was a very famous case of a girl named Polly Klaas who was kidnapped in Petaluma, California. An abductor crawled in through her bedroom fucking window and took her and raped her and murdered her. Great parenting, Kristen and Dax. I fucking hate you both.